This is such an exciting moment. I'm so happy you're here because finally Mosey is now a part of Gusto. Listen, compliance is a huge deal for small businesses. It's a huge burden on them. We call it compliance inflation. There's more and more compliance requirements, regulations every single day. And you guys are absolutely the best in the business in this.
There's so much administrivia that just goes into starting and then running a business. So, Mosey's also a heavy user of Mosey because we have the same challenges too. It's not a job that everybody loves to do. Yeah. Like, you don't wake up every morning and you're like, I can't wait to do all the compliance work today. Right? It's a little bit more a certain level of panic that might fluctuate. Yes. And, just a huge amount of compliance work actually just happens when you receive a letter in the mail. Right. And that's really the story of Mosey.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. There's a few moments, things that just to kind of pull it out. The first one is, hey, there's this scary moment that every single small business, large business, entrepreneur feels where they get like this scary mail piece from the government. It doesn't matter which department it is. And like when you see it's a mail from the IRS or it's a mail from like whatever Secretary of State, you're like, oh no. You're worried. What have I done wrong? But you have a story of something that happened when you were starting.
I think back to when I first started my first company and all the mistakes that we made along the way. And mind you, now I've built a company that is squarely for the purposes of helping businesses be compliant. But this is how difficult it is. So, we incorporated that is the wrong kind of business. We wanted to start a tech company. We essentially got a real estate LLC. When I first moved to California, I was doing some consulting work. And as soon as I finished doing a little bit of this work, I got a notice that said I had all these taxes to pay in California. Mm-hmm. And that, first of all, just elevates your blood pressure. Right. But the next thing is you're asking, what else don't I know? Right. And that becomes one of the core problems to compliance, which is people don't know what they don't know. I have a lot of empathy for business owners that are encountering these things. Right. And the fact that it's different in every single state and every single locality even just makes it so much scarier.
I've been following your work for a long time. Do you remember, I think it was January or February 2021, where I slid into your DMs on Twitter and asked you to connect?
Yeah, I was waiting for this to come up. Yeah, I absolutely do. I feel like I still remember that pretty vividly because we had just announced, what we were doing, and to see you show up just in a message, I was like, oh wow, this is good validation, of what we're trying to say and what we're trying to do. I feel like we've compared notes now for years, and so I always valued that sort of collaborative relationship that we've had, and that blossomed into all sorts of other things too, including the culmination of that, that we're sitting here today.
Yeah, it's amazing I think Steve Jobs said it, when you look back, you can connect the dots in a really beautiful way. When you are in the moment, it's harder to kind of foresee where things are going to end up. I think, the moment, I remember when you launched, when you announced what you're doing, when you started kind of building that product, I was super impressed by the specific, eye that you had for the problem. And then a very elegant solution on the other side that's really focusing on automating as much as possible, giving peace of mind, which is all this sort of stuff that we love doing at Gusto, and I think it's really, kind of the core of what, we really value. So it was very natural to partner with you all because you're so strong at this. For Gusto customers, they can come in to a single place and manage their payroll, their HR, their benefits, their compliance, and everything else that we're doing all across their business in a single system that's all connected. That's really big for our customers.
Yeah, and that's something that I heard over and over and over again, which is why isn't this inside of Gusto? Yeah. Can you just take this information that you have and just put it there so that I don't have to go do it? Having a place that informs them around the business taxes, entity management, things related to the Secretary of State, and then also one of my favorite topics, which is physical mail. Having a place to connect all of this stuff together into one cohesive compliance program, that's how you take the work off of people's plates, and that's how you give them peace of mind. Yeah, I mean, it's never been a better time to start a business and to grow a business. And so that's the stuff where folks like you and me can get excited about the details of solving these overlooked problems that ultimately end up helping all of these businesses prosper.
And I think that Gusto can have a huge impact there in this new world. by bringing in tools and functionalities such as what we're talking about here with Mosey and compliance, it's a really, really big moment for small businesses today.
I feel like Gusto's one of the rare places where you keep earning the right to go solve the next problem and the next problem and the next problem. And so to me, this is just continuing that. And before you know it, right, we're going to be able to take such a meaningful portion of all this work off of people's plates that they can go put to better use elsewhere. I have a lot of optimism that you can solve these problems and do it much better than what I think the defaults are today.
Well, we got a lot to build together.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's make it happen.